Alright, guys, we're back with Dunce Cap on Dunya. Let's see what he's got to say this time.
Who do you want to follow? Right, do you want to follow someone who's willing to sacrifice?
I'll tell you who I follow. I'll tell you who I
Or
follow.
you want to follow
I'll tell you who I follow.
the sacrifice himself?
I'll tell you. I'll follow the companion who wanted to save Jesus from an unjust murder instead of the God that sanctioned an unjust murder. Come on, man. Is that a joke? Is that a...
You see his smug look and the way he talks? Alright, unjust murder. Okay, let's see if we can find that. Let's first go to the Old Testament. This is Proverbs 30. Okay. We'll start from 4. We'll just get right to it because I'm going to be doing a lot of reading. Who has ascended to heaven and come down? Who has gathered the wind in his fist? Who has wrapped up the waters in a garment? Who has established all the ends of the earth? What is his name and what is his son's name? Alright, Proverbs. Now we're going to go to Isaiah, also in the Old Testament. Right? This is 700 years before BC. Alright, let's go. We'll start at 6. For us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and of peace there will be no end, on the throne of David and over his kingdom, to establish it and to uphold it with justice and with righteousness from this time forth and forevermore. And let's go to 53. This is more Old Testament, 700 years BC, before Christ. Who has believed what he has heard from us, and to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? For he grew up before him like a young plant, and like a root out of dry ground. He had no form or majesty that we should look at him, and no beauty that we should desire him. He was despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief, and as one from whom men hide their faces. He was despised, and we esteemed him not. Surely he has borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we esteemed him stricken, smitten by God, and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. Upon him was the chastisement that brought us peace, and with his wounds we are healed. Let's remember that crucifixion wasn't being used for another 500 years. But he was pierced for our transgression. He was crushed for our iniquities. Man, pretty heavy duty. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. Like a lamb that is led to slaughter, and like a sheep that before its shears is silent, so he opened not his mouth. By oppression and judgment he was taken away, and for his generation who considered that he was cut off out of the land of the living, stricken for the transgressions of my people. And they made his grave with the wicked, and with a rich man in his death. What do they mean by that? Well, what happened with Jesus and his death? He was what? If we go to Matthew, when it was evening, a rich man came from Arimathea named Joseph. Okay, so a rich man came who was a disciple of Jesus. He went to Pilate and asked for the body of Jesus. Then Pilate ordered to give it to him. And Joseph took the body and wrapped it in a clean linen shroud and laid it in his own new tomb. Okay, so Isaiah is telling us 700 years, and they made his grave with the wicked and with a rich man in his death. Come on, man. Come on, man. You know, the two thieves next to him and buried in a rich man's grave. I mean, come on, guys. So, do you think Ramsey knows this? And he's just lying to everybody? Right? Let's go to Leviticus. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it for you on the altar to make atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that makes atonement by the life. Therefore I have said to the people of Israel, no person among you shall eat blood, neither shall any stranger who sojourns among you eat blood. So sacrifice the blood. The blood is what makes the atonement, right? Just like in Hebrews, it says, and in the same way he sprinkled with the blood both the tent and the vessel used in worship. Indeed, under the law, almost everything is purified with blood, and without the shedding of blood, there is no forgiveness of sins. You think Ramsey knows all this? And he's just deceiving people? Look. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of my own accord. I have authority to lay it down, and I have authority to take it up again. I mean, and what did Ramsey say about someone laying their life down?
For an innocent person. So if he willingly lays down his life, and it's not unjust for someone who willingly lays down his life, but the young man...
Good. It's not unjust if someone willingly does it. In the tafsir you read, did that companion
So we went...
is the nature of Esau.
So we went and showed how it wasn't an unjust murder like this clown says.
The question is, who do you want to follow?
Right.
The question is, who do you want to follow? Who do you want to follow? Right, do you want to follow someone who's willing to sacrifice?
I'll tell you who I follow. I'll tell you who I
Or do
follow.
you want to follow someone
I'll tell you who I follow.
who sacrifice himself?
I'll tell you. I'll follow the companion who wanted to save Jesus from an unjust murder instead of the God that sanctioned an unjust murder.
Look at that face. Look at the face, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. He says. So we showed that the Old Testament talks about a son to come and he'll be crushed and his arms and feet pierced. Right? And then Jesus said himself, he lays down his life and lifts it back up again. So Ramsey knows this. He knows this. He's just a deceitful person. Need to pray for him, and I know I gotta stop making fun of him, but I can't. I'm sorry. He's an adult. He can read and comprehend. He's just lying. Right? I mean, tell me he's not lying, man. Alright, guys. Till next time, man. 434, that like button for me, man. Let's go. Later.